us on this Father's Day Sunday. Take a quick break. Shout out Ben Geezer back in our 1620 The Zone studio. Shout out to Ben for yesterday
as well.
Great job for us throughout the Rain Delay Theater. Josh Peterson, Jimmy Chavez hanging out. We will be with you for a little more than an hour until 5:40 ahead of the nightcap. There will be a winner between North Carolina and Tennessee. That team will get a couple of days until their next game. The loser will play before that. More to come. Josh Peterson, Jimmy Chavez here on 1620 The Zone.
How much are these?
$0. You want one?
You don't have to wait for your perfect landscape. Patera Landscaping can book your project now and have it beautifully installed in time to enjoy this July and August. Workouts and get-togethers. Trees, bushes, colorful gardens,
AM radio.
patios,
You gotta go to the
outdoor
extended
kitchens.
band.
Patera
Thanks for supporting
Landscaping
the
can do
zone.
it all. Call today and have your perfect landscape this summer. Patera voted Omaha's best. PateraLandscaping.com.
If you want a perfect landscape, call Patera.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Roofing. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Roofing come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Twisted Thunder Fireworks is going to save you big money. You'll find the best variety and the lowest prices in the entire state of Nebraska. Don't believe us? See page after page of products and pricing online at TwistedThunder.com, where you can watch everything before you buy and choose local pickup so it's ready to go for you at the tips. Go to TwistedThunder.com to check out all of our locations in Nebraska as well as our location in Council Bluffs. That's TwistedThunder.com.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
He thinks bean counting is an iPhone app. He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. Don't just get your taxes done, get them managed. If you're tired of losing sleep over your business and personal taxes, you're ready to make more money, give us a call.
Call Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs at 402-551-1919 or visit bepcpa.com.
And we're back live, and what a beautiful day here at the park. Just listen to that crowd. Excitement's in the air. They've come to see the best of the best from all over the globe in what's been a fan favorite for nearly 130 years. That's right, it's all at Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium, the #1 zoo in the nation. Be sure to swing by between games and check out our newly reimagined Hubbard Orangutan Forest. Plan your visit at omahazoo.com.
Now back to the Men's College World Series special live from Omaha Baseball Village, powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
Josh Peterson, Jimmy Chavez with you here at the Omaha Baseball Village. Ben Geezer back in our 1620 The Zone studios. If you are just joining us in the car, maybe you're on your way down. Florida State 7, Virginia 3. The Noles live to see another day. They will play on Tuesday afternoon. Virginia, the first team to go 2-2. They will head home. North Carolina, Tennessee coming up tonight. And then tomorrow we have NC State, Florida in the elimination game. Kentucky versus Texas A&M in the winner's bracket matchup. Still following the U.S. Open. Rory at 8 under right now through 14. Bryson DeChambeau at 7 under through 13. Patrick Cantlay at 5 under through 14. So
down to the wire. It's going to come down to who makes their free throws.
Dude, this round has been pretty fascinating. Now, I wasn't able to watch it until we got here. I honestly didn't turn it on until after the baseball game finished up. But the group chat was popping off throughout much of the final round. So nice to have it on here. All right, speaking of making free throws, we were just talking off air.
You win if you do it.
About you realized, again, the passage of time. It's been 25 years since 1999. But I want to ask you this, because we're going to talk a little Cowboys in a bit. You're a Spurs guy. Why not a Mavericks guy? Was it because they were so terrible when your fandom was when you were becoming a fan? Or
no, it's because I grew up in San Antonio.
Grew up in San Antonio. And I guess, there's no football team in San Antonio.
Yeah. No, our football team was the Cowboys.
Yep. How do you feel about the Mavericks? Or is that a franchise you despise?
No, there's pity. I mean, they got one championship. It's cute.
Nice.
Although I was happy when they won theirs. And I actually was rooting for a 7-game series. I mean, this thing's, you can take that.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Are you still rooting for, you're obviously still rooting for it to be fun.
I'm rooting for a 7-game series, but this thing
Celtics
is over tomorrow night.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I do too, man.
I told Joey the other day, I was like, it's okay. Championships are best won at home anyway.
Yeah, it's much more fun. That's it. If they lose tomorrow,
now it's on.
Yeah. Speaking of passage of time, it's been 20 years since the Red Sox were down 3-0 versus the Yankees, and then they came back. I am hoping
chaos.
Now, look, I despise the Celtics and everything they stand for. I listen to the Bill Simmons podcast, and I would love to see him squirm, absolutely squirm. So
I can get behind this.
We need them to push it, because if this thing gets to Thursday in a Game 6 when it goes back to Dallas, then everyone's just like, oh my gosh, that meme of the guy playing the video games and then suddenly he sits up in the chair. That's what happens if we get to Thursday. And then after that, you never know what's going to happen. I don't expect it to happen. I did pick the Celtics in 6 before the series. Certainly seems like it happened in 5. If I'm a Mavs fan, player, coach, whatever it is, it's just they had some spots, especially Game 3. They're up early by double digits. And they
got nothing
just
to lose, so just go out and play like
that. So we'll hope that they extend that. All right, let's talk about our beloved Dallas Cowboys, who continue to infuriate us.
25 years ago, they infuriated me because they were 8-8. They started 3-1, and then before you know it, it was win one, lose one, win one, lose one, then lose the playoffs.
And you always call them that. You always say they're the 8-8 Cowboys, even though they've won 12 games in each of the last 3 years. Or is it just for you a mindset? It's an 8-8 mindset because they never win in the postseason.
It's a mindset. I mean, the 12 games last year was a good team, so you think they're going to make. I didn't think they're going to win the NFC, but
pretty wide open NFC. Yeah, absolutely.
And the game's over at halftime.
Yeah, it was over in the second quarter. Yeah. It was over early on in that game.
Josh, in my day, they used to beat the Packers all the time in the playoffs.
Always have to be reminded that Jimmy is 20 years older than me.
It's only 4? But it makes such a difference.
You're 39?
I'm 41.
Okay, so you're 6 years older. It really does.
It makes a huge
difference.
You
want to talk about a sweet spot? Because the first year that I can remember watching them, which is just classic me, 1996. Oh, what begins in 96? A run of pain and misery. That's the first year that I can remember watching them. If I'm just a few years older, I'm a fan of them at a younger age, my formative years. Now, it does kind of suck for you that your formative years are the best of your entire life.
Right away.
My dad was born in 65. Happy Father's Day again, Dad. So the last Super Bowl, he's 30, and it's man, what a great age range. He has the Roger Staubach years, so he gets some Super Bowls as a kid, and then he sees some down years. But then as an adult in his 20s and then 30, he gets to see him come back to glory again.
Now, the first year I truly remember was 89, though. They were 1-15. So they were every bit of 1-15.
Oh, yeah, that was a bad football team.
And in fact, I was 6 years old, and I asked Dad on Thanksgiving. They lose 27-0 to the Eagles, and I go, Daddy, how come the Cowboys have 0 by their name all the time?
What did he say?
His face dropped because he grew up in the 70s, so he's thinking, they didn't used to be that bad.
They were pretty
but
good.
3 years later, it happened quickly. They won 7-9 in 1990, 11-5 in 91, and get to the divisional playoff. And then, back-to-back Super Bowls. So they get their third Super Bowl when I'm in 7th grade. So I'm 12 years old. And I'm thinking this could be like this all the time.
Prime
96 are going to win a 4th and 5th year.
Yeah. You want
5 years?
You want to talk about, the great age for fandom and for a variety of reasons, right? So first of all, at that age, you're full of wonder. You don't understand any of the negatives that come with sports, whether it's some of your favorite players won't be on your team anymore. Contracts are going to be a thing. Obviously, there can be really bad people.
What do you mean Alvin Harper's leaving? Why?
Exactly. So, you don't know any of that, and you don't have any responsibilities. You have nothing to do in your life except watch sports and throw yourself into it. And as you have told me before many times, you come from a very interesting family in terms of superstition and where you're sitting on the couch and are you eating the same thing? What are you wearing? And so it's all of this is happening at the exact perfect age. For me, my first year that I can really remember for Husker football, again, it's 96, but my first full season is their last national championship year, 1997, their last conference title year. I was 11 years old. It's like, these are great ages to become a fan. Their last truly good season, 01, they started 11-0. I was 13. It's like, this is how it's done.
All right, 02, let's get back there.
You wonder what it's like for whether it's Cowboys fans, Nebraska fans, any team out there that's, someone's listening and saying, hey, what about me? I'm a fan of the Jaguars. I've never had anything good happen in my life.
That 99 Jaguars team went 14-2 and had home field in the AFC Championship, and then Steve McNair.
Yeah, they had to play the Titans 3 times that year, and they lost to them all 3 times. And so, we both picked interesting times to become Cowboys fans, and now we enter this season. I think we're kind of in the same boat. I guess I haven't asked you what you're expecting / hoping they do with Dak. This is obviously a put up or shut up year for McCarthy, but I'm curious to see what happens with Dak Prescott moving forward. I'm starting to think that this is his last year.
I am too, and I think wherever he goes after this year, he's going to thrive, and it's going to be hilarious.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think he's a very good quarterback. He is.
Agree.
He is someone that, look,
He's solid.
if you're talking about, so like there's the tier 1 and tier 2, and then there's because if you, like me, tier 1 is one guy, Patrick Mahomes. I think we talked about this when you were producing the other day. Beyond that, then it's like, okay, so who's in the next tier? That's where the Josh Downs, Lamar Jacksons, et cetera, et cetera.
Burrow.
All right, so yeah, exactly. I think that Dak is squarely in tier 3. He can win, but if you're asking him to lead you there and totally be the guy, I don't think he's going to do it. And I thought last year was his best year. Would we agree? Last year, best regular season that he's played so far? Second in MVP, All-Pro.
I really thought last year was the year where he could at least put together a little run. Not saying they were going to get to the Super Bowl, but I was like, you know what? I think they're going to have a pretty decent playoff that even if they lose, you're going to be like, they had a good run.
Yeah, and so, look, everything was a tire fire against the Packers. The defense was horrific. Special teams, I don't really remember special teams. CeeDee Lamb didn't play very well. Micah Parsons didn't play very well. Dak didn't play very well either, though. It was a confluence of events. You wonder what happens if on the first drive, the sack doesn't get called back because of a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
What happens even if they just get a little bit momentum? Dak and CD seemed off. The first time he threw to CD, it was awkward, man. And so it's what in the world is going on here? So I'm with you. I think I picked it on the show that they were going to win the Super Bowl. Did I believe that? Of course not. Could I talk myself into it? Absolutely, I could. But for them to go one and done in the fashion in which they did, that made me think he just can't do it. I don't think he's going to do it.
Obviously, I wanted it to happen, but I'll be honest. I kind of wanted it to happen just to see you kind of just rub it in everyone else's face.
I
get to be here for that.
I know. You want to talk about something in my life that would result in many.
I would be like this as you say whatever it is you need to just. You're speaking for the people at that point.
Yeah, many quote tweets would happen.
In their biggest game of the year, they played their worst, and that's what bothered me the most. They're by far and away their worst game of the season. They played in the biggest game.
Yeah,
I can handle losing if you play as good of a game as you can, and that the other team just beat you. Then fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, that just wasn't the case. The game was over. Even the second half, I was doing other things. I mean, the game was on, but I was like, this sucks. It's a playoff game, and I'm putting my laundry away.
Yeah, we had to do a leftover Christmas that we had missed 3 weeks prior, and so we had to do the family Christmas. And so one of my nephews is showing me his baseball or basketball cards, and I'm like, this is not where I want to be right now, but I guess it's better than being sad with my dad. I just wanted to be sad with my dad. I want to be sad with him, and that's the thing.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. The one wish that I have in my entire life is to watch the Cowboys win a Super Bowl and cry into my dad's arms. That's all that I want. All right, we will come back. We'll wrap up this hour. All right, thanks for letting me get that off my chest.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I want that
Father's
for you too.
Day. I hope all the fathers get to have great sports memories with their kids, unless you're an Eagles fan. All right, we'll come back. We'll wrap up hour number 1. We'll get you ready for North Carolina and Tennessee. Josh Peterson, Jimmy Chavez, hanging out here at the Omaha Baseball Village. More to come. 1620, The Zone.
At Rotella's Italian Bakery, they put unsurpassed product quality into everything they bake. Old world skill and experience are masterfully blended with modern efficiencies to create the delicious breads, rolls, hamburger and hot dog buns, and other specialty products that have delighted their customers since 1921. combining customer satisfaction with uncompromising quality is their goal. Rotella's Italian Bakery, a century of pride in every slice. To see the full menu of products, visit rotellasbakery.com.
An estimated 80% of Americans aren't getting their recommended daily amount of physical activity. It's time to move and keep moving, America. And when you need help, physical therapists and physical therapist assistants are by your side. Be your own champion. Choose more movement. Choose better health. Choose physical therapy. Find out more information and a physical therapist at choosept.com/NE. Brought to you by the American Physical Therapy Association of Nebraska.
The Pinnacle Bank Championship presented by Woodhouse is back, and you don't want to miss a second of Omaha's biggest golf tournament of the year. Join us August 5th through the 11th to catch the action as players battle their way towards the PGA Tour. Plus, enjoy events like RSM Youth Day, the Patriot Outpost, and the Live and Loud Concert Series. Secure your tickets today at thepinnaclebankchampionship.com/tickets.
After an injury, it pays to have an advocate on your team. The Advocates are skilled personal injury attorneys committed to helping injured Nebraskans get their lives back. They'll put together a game plan, negotiate with insurance companies, and put your best interests first. Consultations with an attorney are always 100% free. Contact their Omaha office today at nebraskaadvocates.com. You deserve an attorney who will step up to the plate. You deserve an advocate.
Make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard for the roofery.
When it's time to replace or repair storm damage, make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the local, trusted, and proven choice. No one has installed more DaVinci roofs, and there's a reason why John Higgins Weather Guard is the nation's leader. Community member, community supporter. Make the right call.
John Higgins Weather Guard for the roofery. Make the right call.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Smith for Ted and Wally's Premium Ice Cream. Now that we got through the spring and we're in the summer, what's better for summer than ice cream? I always say, get yourself a bucket load. Now I know they don't sell it by the buckets at Ted and Wally's, but they do sell it by the pint. They do sell it by the half gallon. All you got to do is call ahead to get yours reserved today. And so many flavors. Go on social media, whether it's Facebook or on Twitter, and they have a list of the day's ice creams for both locations. That's in the old market, of course, and in Benson. Swing by there, get yourself some great ice cream this summer, and tell them Severe sent you.
Now back to the Men's College World Series special live from Omaha Baseball Village. Powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
Josh Peterson and Jimmy Chavez with Ben Geezer producing. We are rolling on here on Father's Day at the Omaha Baseball Village. We have a matchup tonight between North Carolina and Tennessee. We will take you to 540 for pregame coverage. John Bishop, Gary Sharp from the booth. Connor Happer down on the field. The U.S. Open is once again tied. Rory McIlroy has given back a stroke. He is 7 under, as is Bryson DeChambeau. Rory 1 hole ahead of DeChambeau right now. He's through 15. DeChambeau is through 14. Patrick Cantlay just about to tee off on 15. He is 2 off of the lead. So we were talking about it a couple of minutes ago, Jimmy, saying, yeah, he's probably out of it unless he goes on a crazy run. Well, he still needs that, but Rory dropped the stroke, so suddenly there they are.
There's more suspense in this than there was in the hockey game last night.
Yes, there was. You want to talk about an odd postseason that we have had, or at least an odd finish in both the NBA and the NHL, where 2 series now are both at 3-1. 2 series get to a game 4, a sweep potentially in the opposing team's house. And the home teams, they play in such a way where their fans have to just be like, where was this in games 1, 2, or 3? You do that in one of the earlier games on the road, and we're having a much different conversation.
Yeah, at that point, it's the other team saying, let's go win it at home. Yeah. But you better win it at home. Because if you have to go back for a game 6, like you were saying, then you start to get that little tightness right there, and everything just tenses up. And
oh, man. Again, going back to the Celtics, that team, has had – they're like the Cowboys in a way right now, where obviously a very proud franchise.
A lot of fans.
A lot of tradition. The difference, of course, is that they made it to the championship and they're up 3-1. They're going to win the series, but they've made it this far, and they've made it to conference finals, whereas the Cowboys haven't. But I mean, you want to talk about a way to get that place stressed out with all the regular season success that Tatum and Jaylen Brown have had. If somehow this thing does get back home, you just wonder how the fans would be on a night like that when it's like, we don't really know if we can trust you right now. And it would, like, I think you and I have definitely reached a point, if we weren't there already, where it's like, all right, cool. The September, October, November, December success is fun, but I need to see it in January. Like, I just can't imagine that fan base and the number that it would do on them. And if it's like, oh my gosh, this is easily the best team in the league all season. Metrically, they're dominant. They're up 3-0. And then it were to get to a game 7. That place would be puckered up so tight.
Now that we said that, 25-point win for the Seas tomorrow
I know.
night.
I'm trying.
They are the better team by far. But Dallas wasn't as bad as being down 3-0. They were the moment was a little too big for them.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it. And even when they got to game 3 at home, they seemed tight.
Yeah, especially Luka.
Yeah.
Which
ever since Michael Finley took his beer that ended up on Twitter, he hasn't been the same. Let the man have his beer.
Let the man have his beer. Come on, what are you doing, Michael Finley?
Yeah.
DeChambeau, by the way, he is about to putt. He is on 14 right now, and I'm trying to see what this is for.
NBA champion Michael Finley, by the way.
Yeah, who was who did he win a title with?
The Spurs 17 years ago.
Oh, okay. I should have known. I should have known when you said that, because I was like, he definitely didn't win one with the Mavericks.
That's right. He didn't win one with the Mavericks. You know why? Because they choked the finals in 06, though he wasn't on that team.
Yeah, and they got screwed. They got hosed in that series, Jimmy. The refs were horrible.
I thought they were fantastic.
Interesting.
Great job.
I like what you did earlier.
Fantastic officiating.
The cute franchise with their one title.
Nice little.
But hey, you want to talk about titles that
the
mean
Rockets
something?
won back-to-back. So.
That's true. You want to talk about titles that mean something? That title is one of the all-timers for those of us who wanted to root against the Heat and LeBron
Absolutely.
James. What an all-time title.
Love Dirk. Always did love Dirk Nowitzki.
It was nice
Happy
to see
him get his ring. Kid, same thing.
Yeah, it was nice to see those guys.
It was a good night.
All right. DeChambeau, by the way, he will be putting for birdie and the lead on hole number 15. So, again, he is one hole behind Rory McIlroy right now. Rory just put it in the fairway off of the tee box on 16. So, a whole lot of drama in a major after a stretch of a few where it's been like, wow, are we ever going to have anything? And again, just going back to what we were just talking about with some of these series as they have reached their finals, it's nice to see something fun on a Father's Day Sunday. He misses the putt, blows it by about a few feet, so he's going to have looks like an uphill putt, though, to save par. So imagine he'll save par, and they will continue to be tied through 15 each.
Nice.
Good stuff,
I like some golf drama.
Yeah, this is nice.
We don't have to add any.
I'm hoping.
Even in this World Series, we've had drama.
I'm hoping it's hilarious. We have had great drama, and then of course today was the worst game by far. Hopefully this thing will still be going on, or will end rather, as we say goodbye in about 45 minutes. So we are continuing our countdown. Josh Peterson, Jimmy Chavez with you. Florida State 7, Virginia 3. The Cavs head home. North Carolina, Tennessee. That game coming up in just over an hour from now. Back after this as we go on into our final hour on 1620 The Zone.
And we're back live, and what a beautiful day here at the park. Just listen to that crowd. Excitement's in the air. They've come to see the best of the best from all over the globe in what's been a fan favorite for nearly 130 years. That's right, it's all at Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium, the #1 zoo in the nation. Be sure to swing by between games and check out our newly reimagined Hubbard Orangutan Forest. Plan your visit at omahazoo.com.
At Rotella's Italian Bakery, they put unsurpassed product quality into everything they bake. Old world skill and experience are masterfully blended with modern efficiencies to create the delicious breads, rolls, hamburger and hot dog buns, and other specialty products that have delighted their customers since 1921. Combining customer satisfaction with uncompromising quality is their goal. Rotella's Italian Bakery, a century of pride in every slice. To see the full menu of products, visit rotellasbakery.com.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Smith for Ted and Wally's Premium Ice Cream. Now that we got through the spring and we're in the summer, what's better for summer than ice cream? I always say, get yourself a bucket load. Now I know they don't sell it by the buckets at Ted and Wally's, but they do sell it by the pint. They do sell it by the half gallon. All you got to do is call ahead to get yours reserved today. And so many flavors. Go on social media, whether it's Facebook or on Twitter, and they have a list of the day's ice creams for both locations. That's in the old market, of course, and in Benson. Swing by there, get yourself some great ice cream this summer, and tell them Severe sent you.
He thinks bean counting is an iPhone app. He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. Don't just get your taxes done, get them managed. If you're tired of losing sleep over your business and personal taxes, you're ready to make more money, give us a call.
Call Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs at 402-551-1919 or visit BEPCPA.com.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Make the right call. John Higgins Weather Car, the home of the roofery.
When it's time to replace or repair storm damage, make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the local, trusted, and proven choice. No one has installed more Da Vinci roofs, and there's a reason why John Higgins Weather Guard is the nation's leader. Community member, community supporter. Make the right call.
John Higgins Weather Car, the home of the roofery. Make the right call.
Your home for the Men's College World Series is 1620 The Zone. KOC and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. Sponsored by Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center. Now back to the Men's College World Series special live from Omaha Baseball Village. Powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
Josh Peterson, Jimmy Chavez with you from the Omaha Baseball Village. Thanks to Ben Geezer back in our 1620 The Zone studios for
nice
hanging out
peaceful
with
night
us.
for him tonight.
Oh, yeah. Ben, shout out to Ben, who did great work for us last night, was hanging out for a while. Ben, I'm going to guarantee you're not going to have to worry. Well, I guess there was supposed to be some stuff after 10. I think we're going to be okay.
I think we'll be okay.
We're going to be okay.
Hopefully, game be over by 8:30.
There we
Get him out a nice.
It's not a Major League Baseball game, Jimmy. I don't think that we're going to have a.
Just try and be positive.
Well, I do appreciate
I know how these
your
things can go.
I do appreciate your positivity, but we are here for just
which I'm not known for.
You're not. You're usually one of the most negative, not in life, but in sports. People that you always talk about the old days. You always remind me of what it was like when you. Yeah, you always remind me of what it was like when you were a kid. You always tell me about all these things. Look at this cool gear.
You'd wet the bed, and then you'd watch the Cowboys pound the 49ers again.
Yeah, those were the good old days. Like
days.
you said, you saw them beat the Packers in the playoffs. You saw them beat the 49ers. Like, I don't know that world. I can't imagine that world.
Death, taxes, and
winning
the Packers.
Games. Imagine going
beat the Niners,
playoff
beat Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
You'd go into games confident. You'd feel good
every time.
Instead of now, where you're like, "How is this going to break my heart?"
3:00 at Giant Stadium, the Vet, RFK, didn't matter. Going to win all of them.
All right. Well, I mean, for the most part, those things still kind of exist. You know, when's the last time Dallas lost to the Giants? It's been a while now. Dak Prescott has an amazing record versus them. We very much appreciate it.
What was this in 2007?
Yeah. By the way, as we were in our commercial break, Bryson DeChambeau, he missed the par putt that we had been talking about on 15, about a 3-footer, and it lipped out. And so he drops another stroke. Rory is about to putt for birdie and a chance to extend his lead to 2 strokes. He is 7 under through 15. I think it's going to be pretty difficult for him to do so. It looks like it's going to be a long-ish putt.
If he wins, what a couple weeks for him.
What?
Reconciles with his wife and wins the U.S. Open.
He wins at life. He wins a wife, and he wins the U.S. Open. Sadly, Jim Nantz not on the call for this one, so we won't have a goofy final call. But, yeah, what a turnaround. And, obviously, this has been a golfer who's been searching for that elusive major for a while now. His last one, I think, a decade ago. So it's been a while for him.
Yeah.
So
all right, we got a rooting interest.
Yeah, so we got Rory going on. We're going to be on for 38 more minutes. He's going to have 2 holes left. So at the very least, we're going to know, I think, what's going on with him as he finishes up. And so we'll comment on this birdie putt for you, and then we will move on with the discussion.
Here's Josh at 16.
Oh, my. Oh, he just misses it. Goes by about 2 or 3 feet, so he will have a comebacker for par, and he will try to remain up by 1 stroke on Bryson DeChambeau. Jimmy, what do you think? Thank you. I've never called golf before.
1620 the golf.
What do you think of this story in the broadest of terms about this umpire in Major League Baseball? And I guess just given the era that we have seen, if you missed it, Pat Hoiberg is being
not Hoiberg,
being disciplined by Major League Baseball for gambling allegations. And so, we're still kind of waiting more information as the sport does their due diligence with him. But it comes on the heels, obviously, of quite a bit happening in the sport of baseball with, in sports rather, with various athletes. We have seen players banned for life, including one in the NBA recently. First kind of inklings or first reactions rather when you see this news come down earlier this week.
Here we go. I think we all knew something like this might happen. But at the same time, I do think they'll find a way to curtail some of it because with anything, you're going to get a couple of bad apples. At least you hope that's what it is. I'm trying to be positive here. I don't want to see, suddenly 10 umpires have an entire deal where they're playing, they have a parlay and they have their own podcast.
Okay. A Major League Baseball
Blues and the Green.
An umpire podcast?
An umpire podcast about gambling.
That sounds terrible. Wait, who is doing this podcast? The umpires or us?
No, the umpires.
So wait, they're doing a podcast to talk about their own gambling?
Yeah.
Like as they're doing it or after the fact?
They're doing this to help you to make money. So they're giving you their top picks for the day.
That sounds terrible.
It does.
Who would listen to that podcast?
You'd be surprised.
I don't think that...
I wouldn't.
Yeah, okay. Well, I hope not.
We have other gambling podcasts.
Yeah, we do. I certainly don't want that. What you said, though, about you're hoping that this is not...
concerning.
Yeah.
Well, you said a word earlier that was exactly what it is.
What's that?
I don't remember.
Oh,
okay. It was a strong word. It was beyond concerning. It's like...
Heinous? Did I say heinous?
Something like that.
Yeah, because and Rory just missed his par putt. Wow, so they're about to be tied again at 6 under. And by the way, Cantlay is 2 back from that now because he dropped a stroke too.
Let's do a playoff.
U.S. Open is just going pretty wild here. But so here is why it is concerning, and I think why umpires, officials, referees, whatever it is, why they maybe have been the ones to be concerned about the most. It's that their game checks are a whole lot less than a game check for a football player, for a basketball player. Like the stuff with Porter this season in the NBA, guy was on a 10-day contract, right? Like he wasn't making James Harden, Steph Curry kind of money, right? He wasn't even making like a mid-level.
He had
exception
1
kind of
foot
money.
in the G League.
Barely, right? Yeah, he's barely in the league. So
almost said CBA. Myself.
He does this, and it's like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I guess I understand it from the monetary point of view, where he is not making the big bucks. So now you look at that from a different level with these umpires, these officials, they are also making lesser money. That's why I've always been most concerned actually about them more than a player themselves, just because, you get $40,000 under the table. What are you going to be able to pay off? Mortgage, loans, whatever, credit card debt. It's a lot of money for someone like
Sally
that.
Mae.
So I'm with you. I think that this is pretty concerning given that we have seen it now happen.
I'm hoping this is a 1.
Yeah, I mean,
I was hoping it's
that,
just 1.
Dude, I was hoping that with the variety of athletes that we saw stuff from too, and yet
odds are it's not.
It's not. See, and that's the thing. When was Calvin Ridley the first player in this modern era, the modern gambling era that we saw? Because he got in trouble.
Yeah.
It wasn't even his own team, or if it was, he was injured. He was on the injury list or whatever, and he did a same game parlay. He did a football same game parlay, and he got in trouble and he got suspended for a year.
Promo code zone.
And I thought, okay, this happens. This is probably going to curtail people. And if anything, I would say that the things that have happened since then have been even wilder. I mean, we just mentioned the Porter situation in the NBA, which I think it's either that or the former Alabama baseball coach. I would say that those are the wildest ones so far. A guy, playing a minute and then leaving, so his under hits, I think is pretty crazy. That stuff is wild. But yeah, I mean, a coach calling a guy who is gambling at the Red Stadium of all place still might take the
Pete
cake.
Rose fan.
Yeah, that one is
Except
still
he
pretty
played at
wild.
Riverfront.
And so, like, if this is the beginning of something happening with officials, you're probably right. He is probably not going to be the only one, and that's going to be annoying moving forward.
But many baseball fans still say he's better than Angel Hernandez. And that's actually what I want to know. How good of an umpire was he?
Good question. I don't know.
I'm not saying.
No.
I'm curious. Was he a really good umpire?
Yeah. And what will this mean for things moving forward?
Yeah.
So
All I know is back in the day, Bruce Fleming wouldn't have done that. Harry Wendelstedt wouldn't have done that. Balkin, Bob
How do you
Davidson.
know, Jimmy? How do you know names of umpires?
It's weird. I used to watch a lot of baseball, Josh. There
Yeah.
used to be so much
I know,
baseball
but
on
like-
TV. There was baseball on WGN, on TBS,
But
on
like
their own network.
when you say the Cowboys did something on January 1994, I'm like, that makes sense that Jimmy would have that date seared into his brain, or even if you would know the stats for Jerry Rice in 1989, like that would make sense. You maybe had a football card, but you just named 3 or 4 umpires off the top of your head.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
But from that time period,
you might have to be on that podcast.
However,
the Umpire Gambling Podcast.
What's today? Sunday. If you were to ask me what I had for dinner Wednesday, I have no clue. Did I have dinner Wednesday?
I don't know. What's for dinner? I have no idea, but
No
you know
idea.
umpires from your youth.
Yeah, umpires from my youth. The
We're
only
up-
thing I know for dinner right now is a cold shower. Yeah. And there's no joke to that. That's just cold showers.
We're getting very hyped about the cold shower that we're.
If you're
that-
catching this at the wrong time, you're like, what are they talking
We're
about?
we're just
It's-
pumped
it's
about
warm.
showers.
It's
I
a
said it
cold
earlier.
shower.
I put on my sunscreen, and the first thing that I thought on as I put on the sunscreen was that shower tonight is going to be one of the better showers that I have ever taken.
Connor said in the sun, it's 239 degrees today.
It felt like it. I saw Happer. I went over and chatted with him a few minutes, and I said, "How are we doing?" And he goes, "We're good." And then he said, "It's hot."
Did
And
he
I
have
said, "Yeah."
sunscreen on? He is kind of fair skinned.
Dude, I hope so. Thankfully, like me, he had the bucket hat on, so his neck was was nice and covered. I would hope that he was putting on the sunscreen. So yeah, pass the sunscreen around, share it with your friends tonight, and make sure that you are very, very comfortable. We are continuing to count down 30 minutes away from pregame coverage for North Carolina and Tennessee. The winner of this one won't have to play until the 19th. So they will have a couple of days off. They will play on Wednesday. The loser, though, they will play again in 2 days on Tuesday, the 18th. So a big-time matchup. Allows you to get dude, I think this is going to be a really, really good game tonight. Tennessee has been the team that I have liked coming into the
Same.
series.
I'm riding with Tony B.
But, we talked about it. Schaefer and I did earlier. North Carolina, they're flying under the radar a little bit right now. And
They're
so
good
you
as
wonder, you wonder what could happen with this one. So really looking forward to that. As like we said, we continue the countdown. John Bishop, Gary Sharp will be on the call. Connor Happer will be on the field. More to come. Omaha Baseball Village is hopping right now. It is starting to fill up right before it thins out, which will be happening momentarily as we get ready for this one tonight. Looking forward to watching some more baseball. And if you are just joining us and you missed it, Florida State 7, Virginia 3. So Florida State lives to see another day. Great job by them coming back after just a horrific loss a couple of days ago to show the mental fortitude. Real quick before we go to break, seems like you might be in on the Knowles. It seems like you really like this team.
They have an it factor about them.
Mm-hmm. You really like the Knowles.
survive that first game, and suddenly you think, you know what, we could do this thing.
Yeah.
And they get hot. Before you know it, you just got to get to that last series.
I think that my prediction on them is going to be that in their next game they will win, and then whoever they play that is undefeated, they will win again. And so they're going to push whomever it is, North Carolina or Tennessee, they're going to push them to the limit. And I don't know if they'll make it to the championship series, but I think that you're right.
They'll
I think
go down swinging.
I think that this thing is going to go pretty far.
You're going to have to beat them because they seem like they're not going to give it to you.
Indeed. So that is what we are looking forward to tonight. By the way, Rory McIlroy, he was 496 for 496, putting inside of 3 feet this season before that miss.
That's why I don't gamble.
Couple of big mistakes for guys at the top of the leaderboard at the U.S. Open. Rory McIlroy, 6 under through 16. Bryson DeChambeau, 6 under through 15. And Bryson has a putt upcoming that I believe will be for birdie. It would give him the solo lead. On the other end, Rory McIlroy on 17. His tee shot went into the sand. So a whole lot of drama as the U.S. Open comes to a close. And we are hoping for more drama here in Omaha tonight at the Chuck at the Men's College World Series. We will return in just a moment here from the Omaha Baseball Village. Josh Peterson, Jimmy Chavez with you. Ben Geezer producing the show. Bryson just misses, and so he will have to settle for par. We will continue to follow along as Rory is about to hit it out of the sand. We'll have an update for you on that when we return and some other stuff as well. Josh Peterson, Jimmy Chavez, more to come on 1620 The Zone.
He thinks bean counting is an iPhone app. He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. Don't just get your taxes done, get them managed. If you're tired of losing sleep over your business and personal taxes, you're ready to make more money, give us a call.
Call Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs at 402-551-1919 or visit bepcpa.com.
After an injury, it pays to have an advocate on your team. The advocates are skilled personal injury attorneys committed to helping injured Nebraskans get their lives back. They'll put together a game plan, negotiate with insurance companies, and put your best interests first. Consultations with an attorney are always 100% free. Contact their Omaha office today at nebraskaadvocates.com. You deserve an attorney who will step up to the plate. You deserve an advocate.
And we're back live, and what a beautiful day here at the park. Just listen to that crowd. Excitement's in the air. They've come to see the best of the best from all over the globe in what's been a fan favorite for nearly 130 years. That's right, it's all at Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium, the #1 zoo in the nation. Be sure to swing by between games and check out our newly reimagined Hubbard Orangutan Forest. Plan your visit at omahazoo.com.
Make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the roofery.
When it's time to replace or repair storm damage, make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the local, trusted, and proven choice. No one has installed more DaVinci roofs, and there's a reason why John Higgins Weather Guard is the nation's leader. Community member, community supporter. Make the right call.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the roofery. Make the right call.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Smith for Ted and Wally's Premium Ice Cream. Now that we got through the spring and we're in the summer, what's better for summer than ice cream? I always say, get yourself a bucket load. Now I know they don't sell it by the buckets at Ted and Wally's, but they do sell it by the pint. They do sell it by the half gallon. All you got to do is call ahead to get yours reserved today. And so many flavors. Go on social media, whether it's Facebook or on Twitter, and they have a list of the day's ice creams for both locations. That's in the old market, of course, and in Benson. Swing by there, get yourself some great ice cream this summer, and tell them Severe sent you.
Now back to the Men's College World Series special live from Omaha Baseball Village. Powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
Oh, the drama. The drama at the U.S. Open continues. Josh Peterson, Jimmy Chavez with you. Ben Geezer producing the show today as we roll on, awaiting North Carolina and Tennessee. That game will start in under an hour. Pregame begins in 24 minutes, but the drama at the U.S. Open. Rory with a great par save out of the sand. He gets a par on 17, so he is still -6. Bryson DeChambeau, he missed the birdie putt. He is also at -6. He is through 16, so he has a couple of holes left, and Rory will have just 18. And now they're showing they were showing somebody, Jimmy. I always get a little wary when you show someone who you haven't talked about for a while, who is a couple of shots back, but teeing off on a par 3, it's like, are we about to see a hole-in-one? Do they know something that we don't know? It was not a hole-in-one.
They're not in cahoots with the truck?
Yeah, because they as an experienced golf watcher, not everything is always live. And so sometimes it's like, hey,
recorded earlier
let's
tonight.
go. But that's the thing. They won't even say record. Like, oh, hey, let's go over to see what's going on with Scotty Scheffler. He's at +2 on the day, and he's teeing off on 18. It's like, well, why are we seeing this? And it's like, oh, he just, hit a hole-in-one. So I was wondering if
today Tiger walked on the course.
Yeah, well, yeah, they certainly will do that. So I thought that was going to happen. I just realized why they did it, though, because we're at the end of the tournament, and I think that there are only 4 golfers that are left on the course right now, including one, Bryson DeChambeau, who on 16 sticks it on the green on a par 3. So he will have a chance for a birdie, and this was the hole that Rory McIlroy just saved on 17, saved his par.
Down for a playoff, maybe. That way when you get home, you can enjoy a couple of holes.
Man, I'm worried. I feel like the playoff will be.
What the rules are.
See, the U.S. Open playoff used to be. Remember, they do a whole round the following day. Now it is holes 17 and 18 will be utilized for a 2-hole playoff. So that is what they would end up doing if this thing goes into a playoff. Quick prediction. Is it going to go into a playoff?
I'm going to go yes.
I'm going to say no. I think one of these guys is going to get a birdie.
Where we are.
And or one of these guys will get a bogey. So Rory is teeing off right now on 18. Man, it looks dark.
18, yeah.
Oh, and he puts it into the nasty stuff. So we will see what happens with Rory as he tries to. Now it's going to be, can he save par?
This is like John Casey kicking the ball out of bounds in the Super Bowl and giving Tom Brady the ball at the 40-yard line.
Wow, what a random reference. I thought you were
popped in my head.
See, I thought you were going to go, this is like Phil Mickelson at the U.S. Open back in 2006. But no, you went with Panthers-Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Close.
Great
Couple years
Super Bowl.
before.
You know, that's a Super Bowl that gets remembered because of a halftime show and a halftime incident.
It was actually a pretty good game.
That game, for the longest time, I thought that was the best Super Bowl.
Okay.
I thought that it was because it had a great mixture of good defense,
big plays,
and then huge plays. The first and third quarters, a lot of defense. The second and fourth quarters, tons of big plays. I think there was a kickoff return for a touchdown.
There was an 85-yard record touchdown reception, I believe,
Muhammad?
by Mushi Muhammad.
Yeah, he was awesome in that game. Now, the Super Bowl that I think has overtaken that as the greatest Super Bowl was the Seahawks-Patriots Super Bowl that went down to the wire. Because I've said this before.
You should run the ball when you have Marshawn Lynch at the 1-yard line.
Incredibly nerdy statement upcoming. I've been made fun of for this take before. I think that a 28-24 football game is the perfect football game.
You've been made fun of this.
I've been made fun of.
I will join you on that.
Great. Look at that. 28-24. You're starting to hear this more and more.
31-27, I would even go.
That didn't even involve the Eagles. Jeez, they didn't deserve that. Wow. Oh, she's not listening.
She's just happy that when I mentioned John Casey, I didn't go to the next year's Super Bowl.
Oh, is that? Yeah.
I wasn't going to bring that up because it didn't pertain to what I was saying.
But yeah,
also a good game.
28-24. Great football game. There's defense. There's offense, but there's not too much of either. 13-10, too low scoring. 42-39, too many points. 28-24.
Good game.
Yeah, it makes every drive huge. Plus, like you said, one team decided not to run the football, and because of that, they
which resonates in this state.
Yeah. Oh, this state.
I'm with you.
John went on lots of rants because John, that was his.
He's run the damn ball guy.
Well, yes, but that was John. I think peak anti-Patriots. I would say that I think John still hates the Patriots.
For Super Bowl 36.
Yes. Now it's a little bit more pity that he feels for the New England Patriots. I think that was the highest of his hatred. And so
He's
not
gotten
only
over the fact that they knock out Lynn Swan and they can't complete a pass and they still lose the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so Lynn Swan, Marshawn Lynch.
No, I'm going further back.
Okay. You're just
so John's moved on from that Super Bowl to this.
Yeah. So he was very mad about that. But it was the best of both worlds. John was angry that the Patriots win a Super Bowl, but then he was also able to make fun of the Seahawks, who he hates because they're in his division. It's like, this is great. I can say you're morons and you should have run the ball, which they should have, while also reveling in that you didn't win another Super Bowl while also being mad about the Patriots. It's kind of the best of all worlds.
You know what? I kind of like that.
Yeah. That's kind of what you want as a
I like when I get what I want.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know if he got what he wanted. I'm guessing he was probably rooting for the Seahawks, but then that they lost in horrific fashion.
Eventually he got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of fun too. U.S. Open drama continuing. Bryson DeChambeau now is on 17. He is putting for birdie. And remember, Rory has a horrific shot that he will have to hit on 18, his second shot, the par 4, I believe. So that one coming down to the wire. Really great stuff. This has been awesome. Exciting. You know, you always wonder what's going to happen in that in-between show. The game today, very forgettable game. Florida State pretty much dominates. Nice to have a great golf major happening in a tournament that I barely ever get to watch because of the College World Series. Nice to have it on here.
This is nice.
Isn't technology great?
I like technology. Big fan.
Hey, how are you feeling about the upcoming NFL season? We've already commiserated about the Cowboys.
Yes. And they'll win 11 games this year.
They'll win 11 games. They'll lose in the first round of the playoffs or the divisional round.
Or they'll win a game and then horrifically lose a game.
No matter what, we know it's going to be a horrific loss, and it will come before conference championship Sunday and certainly the Super Bowl. Rest of the league, though, how you feeling about the 2024 season? Patrick Mahomes' world, and we're all living in it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think there's a contract that they have to be in every Super Bowl now. But I go back to going back. I've been very positive, very lighthearted today. It's a great day, but it's time to go back curmudgeon-y before we're done here.
All right.
Anybody but the Chiefs.
Anybody but the Chiefs. Even the hated rivals. Dude, okay, let's settle down now, Jimmy.
The Eagles and 49ers could both play together as long as it's not the Chiefs.
Let's settle down. Bryson misses his birdie putt on 17, by the way, so he will go to 17, still at 6 under.
Josh, I think we're going to have a great season, though. That's the answer to your question.
I do too. That is some sicko stuff. You've gotten to the point where you're okay with the rivals, with the arch nemesises, with teams from your youth, teams from your current day, that you would rather have that than the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah. In Super Bowl 54, I threatened to wear a 49ers jersey, and my dad threatened to take me out of the will.
Wow. Super Bowl 54, that was 49ers Chiefs, the first one?
And then what happened 6 weeks later? That wouldn't have happened if the 49ers had ran the ball and won the Super Bowl. It could have prevented COVID.
Prevented COVID?
I'll never
If the 49ers win the Super Bowl?
No, not the 49ers win. If the Chiefs would not have won.
If the Chiefs wouldn't have won.
But when they won, they set a sequence of events
that brought us COVID.
It's like Gray's Sports Almanac. It is found it, and it just skewed time into a different dimension.
Back to the Future, too. Something happened with Biff. He brought COVID.
Yeah, Biff brought COVID and the Chiefs.
But if Marty would have gone back and given us the Titans or the Texans that year, we would have been okay.
Yeah.
That's something I haven't ever thought of. And
then I wouldn't root for the 49ers.
That was like the last big sporting event before COVID. That was the last big sporting event before COVID. By the way, Rory out of the sand hits it just off of the green, so he will not be putting. He could do, I guess, a little bit of a bump and run here if he is so skilled to try to get a birdie. So he most likely, Jimmy, is going to get a par, and then we will await to see what happens with Bryson. So
then you'll hope for the best.
Now I'm kind of wondering if you might end up being correct on your prediction of a playoff.
Let's go playoff.
Because I thought once Bryson got on, I was like, all right, I wonder if a birdie is going to be in the cards. And then literally right as we finished what we were discussing, that is when Rory puts it in the nasty stuff. And yet an opportunity here for him. And so then he will be like the rest of us, and he will watch Bryson DeChambeau, and he is about to tee off. So really, really good stuff at the U.S. Open. We will take our final break. We will come back, and we will get you ready for the nightcap. It is North Carolina and Tennessee. The OBV starting to clear up just a little bit as fans make their way on into the stadium. Thankfully for them, sun is going to be going down. Shade will be plentiful.
Rocky Top will be playing
for a variety of seats. And wow, Bryson into the nasty stuff as well. He just hit it into a volunteer. In the words of Happy Gilmore, shouldn't have been standing there. We'll come back, hopefully have a couple more updates on the U.S. Open, and we'll say goodbye here on 1620 The Zone.
Why wait for your perfect landscape when Patera can get it booked now and installed in plenty of time to enjoy this summer? Gorgeous, healthy trees and bushes, a colorful garden with a water feature, a berm, a beautiful new patio. Whatever you're imagining for curb appeal or more privacy, Patera can book your project now so you can enjoy your perfect landscape and cookouts this summer. Patera, Omaha's best. PateraLandscaping.com.
If you want a perfect landscape, call Patera.
Hey, everybody, it's Michael Smith for Ted and Wally's Premium Ice Cream. Now that we got through the spring and we're in the summer, what's better for summer than ice cream? I always say, get yourself a bucket load. Now, I know they don't sell it by the buckets at Ted and Wally's, but they do sell it by the pint. They do sell it by the half gallon. All you got to do is call ahead to get yours reserved today. And so many flavors. Go on social media, whether it's Facebook or on Twitter, and they have a list of the day's ice creams for both locations. That's in the old market, of course, and in Benson. Swing by there, get yourself some great ice cream this summer, and tell them Severe sent you.
Make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the roofery.
When it's time to replace or repair storm damage, make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the local, trusted, and proven choice. No one has installed more DaVinci roofs, and there's a reason why John Higgins Weather Guard is the nation's leader. Community member, community supporter. Make the right call.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the rooferys. Make the right call.
And we're back live, and what a beautiful day here at the park. Just listen to that crowd. Excitement's in the air. They've come to see the best of the best from all over the globe in what's been a fan favorite for nearly 130 years. That's right, it's all at Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium, the #1 zoo in the nation. Be sure to swing by between games and check out our newly reimagined Hubbard Orangutan Forest. Plan your visit at omahazoo.com.
After an injury, it pays to have an advocate on your team. The advocates are skilled personal injury attorneys committed to helping injured Nebraskans get their lives back. They'll put together a game plan, negotiate with insurance companies, and put your best interests first. Consultations with an attorney are always 100% free. Contact their Omaha office today at nebraskaadvocates.com. You deserve an attorney who will step up to the plate. You deserve an advocate.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Now back to the Men's College World Series special live from Omaha Baseball Village, powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
Oh, baby, Josh Peterson, Jimmy Chavez.
Tell us
Wow, yet again, another missed putt from Rory from just a few feet away. He misses the par putt and has dropped a stroke. He is now 5 under. He was 8 under when we logged on an hour ago.
Yeah.
He is given 3 strokes back. And again, the wild stat that we saw a little bit earlier from Justin Ray was that Rory was 496 for 496, putting inside of 3 feet this season before that miss. I think that was about the same distance, Jimmy. So he is now 496 for 498. It lips. He overplayed it left to right. Oh, so now we will keep an eye on Bryson and what happens with him. He is in some
way out there in the woods?
Really nasty stuff. There's a tree that is hanging over him.
He looks like he's at Vala's pumpkin patch.
He's practicing his backswing right now without a club. As now my dad now going to come and stand behind so he can watch what's going on. Yeah, feel free, Dad. Pop a squat. Happy Father's Day. So he is going to be underneath a tree, and he's going to have to figure out what's going to go on with the backswing. It's definitely going to touch the tree when he does this. And so he will, a par save, and he is the U.S. Open champion. Incredible final round as we have watched this one unfold. And so just do a little live play-by-play. So, yeah, his backswing, Jimmy, it's definitely touching the tree. So he's not going to be able to get as much torque on it. And so we will see what happens. This will be his second shot on 18. Incredible. Rory gives 3 strokes back over the course of a handful of holes on the back 9. And Bryson, he's going to step away. Woo! This is awesome.
This is pretty good.
This is great, man.
I like drama.
This is great.
I don't have a horse in the fight.
Now Pavin's going to
they're both humans.
hit. Nobody cares right now. Let's get back to the good stuff. We are continuing to count down. Pregame coming up in just a few moments. John Bishop, Gary Sharp, Connor Happer will have you covered tonight for this matchup between North Carolina and Tennessee. I think I've kind of given away. I know I said it earlier. I'm Tennessee tonight. Where are you leaning for this one, Jimmy?
I'm going to go with Tennessee just because when I was a kid, I had an invitation to go to Knoxville to a football game, and we didn't go, and I still want to make that trip one day.
All right. Don't hate the reasoning. No. Very interesting reasoning.
Also going to roll with Tony B. We
all right.
had him on our show the other day. And
perfect. All right. Bryson is he is now stepping back. He's going to go through his usual routine, and so we will see what happens. Bryson DeChambeau up by a stroke on Rory McIlroy. He is on 18. It's not just that he is in nasty stuff, it's that there is a tree
right
that is
on top.
causing him to, oh my gosh, he is just leaning over so much. The club is going to hit the tree in his backswing, but a par save, and he is the U.S. Open champion. A bogey, and there will be a 2-hole playoff. If that is tied after the 2 holes, then it would turn into a sudden death playoff. So it is him, and it is Rory McIlroy. His caddy is coming over to chat with him a little bit more. There's some sticks. Looks like his ball is hanging out on some sticks as well. Just a pretty miserable time. Yeah, if I'm hanging out with my dad, I think we're like, hey, just kick that ball out. You don't have to deal with this.
Anything.
Move the sticks. Pick up the ball. Move the sticks.
What did you do?
Well, okay, so he gets it out, and it goes into the sand. So
we gonna get a playoff?
That's set. I mean, he's just off of the green, so we'll see what his lie is. But yeah, he is in the sand, and so he will have the sand shot, and again, a par save, and he is the U.S. Open champion. Rory just signed his scorecard, and now he can only watch.
My favorite part is when you've given updates and you see some of the guys walk by, they just stop and turn like.
I love it too, because
you can tell they're interested.
I know. I remember the days of hanging out at the College World Series, and you walk by and you get that score update for something that you're like, wait a second, what happened? Like one of my
Rory and Bryson are fighting on 18.
We talked earlier about and I don't mean to bring this up, Jimmy, because I just realized I thought I was going to talk about the Mavericks, but I'm actually going to talk about a heartbreaking moment for you.
Ray Allen?
I'm going to mention Ray Allen. So we're leaving, and this is a time before YouTube TV, right? And so we're walking to the car. The game got over super fast that night. And so I'm just following it on Twitter. And Jimmy, young millennial Josh, let's see, this is 2013. I'm 24 years old, early 20s. I'm like, I got a tweet. I have a great tweet plan. I type out my tweet for what I'm going to say. I was going to say, LeBron wasn't wrong. It's not 2. It's not 3. It's only 1. And then they made the shot, and I got really mad. No, thankfully, I had it ready to go, and then I went back to Twitter, and I'm just refreshing, following the score.
Post on my tweet.
Oh, no, what did you say?
I don't remember.
What did your dad say to you after you said that? Because your dad was
anything.
Yeah, your dad was probably like, you jinxed it.
That night, so I tweeted, and then I sent some very nasty text to some friends at what I thought about the Miami Heat with about 30 seconds to go, thinking they got the rope around the court.
They did have the rope around the court.
Long story short, I didn't go to sleep that night. I laid in bed and staring at the ceiling fan. And then the next day I asked Dad, why did you get me into sports? I wish you would have gotten me into the theater or something.
Nice. Theater's never disappointed.
Theater's, unless you're John Wilkes Booth, the theater's never going to disappoint.
Well, I mean, did it disappoint him or did it disappoint,
probably, yeah.
Yeah, it was Abe and some of his,
But the point
Mary
is,
Todd.
You don't see those things at theaters. Now, what happened?
Oh, Bryson sticks it within 3 feet, and he will have that putt to win the U.S. Open. Bryson, just make it happen before we log off at 5:40.
I'll take that.
You have 4 minutes to go, Bryson. You have 4 minutes to go. He does have somebody else that will also be putting as well. Pavin will be on the green.
Push him out of the way.
Wow, what a shot. And he gives the double fist pump for it. And so he will have just a few feet to win the U.S. Open.
He's got 2.5 minutes to knock it in.
Yeah, come on, Bryson. We believe in you. Insane shot. By the way, though, Jimmy, about the same distance that Rory has been for each of those last 2 putts. So it's going to come down to this. One guy missed 2 of these putts. Another guy is going to have a chance to make it. And we talked about it earlier, the Bryson DeChambeau Appreciation Tour.
This would complete some of that.
It really would.
But a lot of pressure in here. This is like Danny Noonan trying to win the tournament at Bushwood.
It's like Danny Noonan. Again,
not to be confused with great former Nebraska football standout and Cowboys player Danny Noonan.
Correct. The mythical.
The Danny Noonan.
The Danny Noonan. Indeed. You could have gone with many actual golfers, but you went with the fake one. I like it.
At least I didn't go Tin Cup. Great movie though.
Never seen it.
Great movie.
Never seen Tin Cup. Never gotten around to seeing Tin Cup. My mom now is wondering, have we seen Tin Cup? Wonder if it's streaming anywhere. It's a golf movie. It's with your guy, Kevin Costner. Yeah, I know. I'm stunned that you haven't seen it.
Rene Russo from Lethal Weapon. Everyone loves
Now
her.
maybe my parents are going to go home and watch Tin Cup tonight. Who knows?
In the
Who
air
knows?
conditioning.
In the air conditioning on the couch after showers.
Yeah.
We are all
Happy
counting.
Father's
Some
Day.
people are counting down to the baseball. They're like, I can't wait for this game. I'm counting down to my shower and my couch. It's going to be great. We again are still waiting. Will Bryson get the par putt off before we are off the air? Jimmy, we have
got a
2
minute and a
minutes.
half.
We have 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And now he's talking to the gallery. What are you saying, Bryson? I can't hear you. This has
Is
been
he going
awesome.
all Apollo Creed saying, get your cameras ready?
Yeah, and a lot of people do have their cameras. All right, so he is,
This is where he
marking
just
the distance.
tears the polo, and he's got a live tank top on.
He does have the hat. What are we looking at distance-wise, you think, for this, Jimmy? Was it about 3 feet, 4 feet, somewhere in there?
Yeah.
Hopefully they give us the distance. Yeah, that looks like it's about a yard. Oh, Rory.
Oh, Pete Carroll, he would pass here.
I always find golfers watching other golfers in these moments so interesting because they have to root for failure rather than like rooting for like them to succeed, like a team sport.
Oh, I always root against my opponents.
That's true.
I always send them to my worst.
All right, I think we're gonna get this
We
off.
got 60 seconds, dude. Just hit the ball.
Come
Even if
on,
you miss it.
Bryson. We just want to know what's going to happen before we move on with our evenings. Thanks again to everybody for joining us. Shout out Ben Geezer for hanging out. He hung out with us last night, and he's done a great job for us today here at the Omaha Baseball Village. Bryson's putt drops, and he is U.S. Open champion. What a fourth and final round of this U.S. Open. Incredible stuff, and this is great. Now I don't have to worry about trying to pull up YouTube TV as I walk to my car for the next 10 minutes.
Enjoy your shower. You hang out with your child.
No
watch
child
some
for
TV.
me. I'm not hanging out with my dog. We will
But
hang out with
I'm
our
talking
dog.
about Mr. Banks.
Okay, I just want
I have a four-legged child, too.
That's true. Yeah, we'll go home. Mr. Banks, I'm going to give him a big old hug. Jimmy, this was great.
It was. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads. Happy Father's Day to my dad who's hanging out right here. Hope that all of you have had a great day. Thanks to Ben Geezer back in our 1620 The Zone studios. Thanks to Jimmy Chavez. I'm Josh Peterson. Enjoy the baseball tonight. I'll be back on the air tomorrow at 10 a.m. with Nick Hanley for another doubleheader. We will talk to you then. See you later.